The Multi-Orgasmic Millionaire with Tilly Storm is the only sex podcast for high-achieving leaders wanting to experience the best sex and epic relationships of their lives without dragging their partner to therapy, blaming it on their hormones, or trying things in the bedroom that don't feel authentic. I'm your host today, Tilly Storm, top 20 sex coach in the world. I hope you enjoyed the episode. All right, welcome back to the Conscious Couples series that I have started this week. And I'm very excited to share with you about the different types of connection and relationship and why so many people are left unfulfilled in their intimacy, the depth of connection that they feel, and to give you sort of a verbiage and language to even speak about it. This is all just come through me. This is not something I ever learned from a teacher, but it's been kind of mind-blowing and powerful and transformative to think about it this way. There are actually 3 different levels of connection, of connecting with another human in the way that I see it. The first way that we connect with people is more of a communicative, superficial way. We communicate with them, we find out if we like them, we find out what things we have in common, we determine whether or not a relationship with them would work based on shared values and things that we want and like and things we don't want and like, and all this and that. And this is all great, but this is a way of connecting with someone on a very cortical level, a very prefrontal cortex, cortical thinking. This relationship makes sense. We should just do it. That is the primary way that couples relate to each other, is on this very cortical thinking level. But what I find when I work with couples is that there is this desire to connect more deeply and intimately on a different layer or level of mind than what they have been experiencing up until this point. And there may have been moments in their relationship where they have experienced a deeper level of connection and intimacy, but they don't know how to recreate the experience or how to make it last. So I want to give you the framework and the verbiage to even share about these things, and for them to make sense in your own mind and to also talk about and share with your partner about them. If you are someone who is craving more intimacy and connection and they're like, well, I'm here for you 24/7. What are you talking about? What more do you want? Right? This is something that men will often do. They make themselves available to you. They have given you their commitment, and they're like, what more do you want? But we women were always like, we want to feel a deep spiritual, intimate connection with them, right? We want to get in their soul and like have this deep, amazing experience. So what that is you craving to connect with another human on a limbic or a somatic level. And when I say a limbic level, when the limbic brain is the part of your brain system that it controls your emotionality, you want to emotionally connect with this human. And if your partner isn't emotionally intelligent and doesn't express his emotions very well, doesn't connect with you on a deep emotional level, maybe he's scared or terrified of your emotions, which most men are very scared and terrified of women's emotionality. It is terrifying. It's chaotic. It's all over the place. It terrifies me, and I'm a woman who is very feminine in nature. It's very scary sometimes. So for us to be able to connect on an emotional level, what does that take? What is required to connect emotionally? Well, it takes both of you being able to hold space for each other's emotions, to know how to feel into the emotion, to name it, to understand that you aren't the emotion. It's just something that she or he's experiencing. And for us women to make sure that when our men do express emotion, that we aren't berating them or telling them, oh my God, I can't believe you're acting like that, or to turn it around on them, because that is something that women are very well known to do. Very well known to do, is that anytime they say, I want a man who expresses his emotions, but then anytime their man does, they turn it against him or use it against them in some way or another and say, well, that's not manly, and then they don't like it. Well, that's not a very conscious way to go about connecting with your partner now, is it? Of course not. So when we're emotionally connecting on a limbic level with someone, it means that we're creating space to hold each other's big emotions, whether we like them or not. even when they're challenging, and more so when they are challenging. How much can you hold someone in their emotional outburst and be okay and not get triggered? Oh, that's like the ultimate test of how emotionally intelligent you are, is when your partner goes off the rocker and becomes super expressed in his or her emotion, and your ability to see and hold them and their emotions without letting it trigger you is the test of your own emotional intelligence. So for us to connect with our partner on a limbic level, it requires the two of you being able to hold each other in your expressions of emotion. And when I'm thinking of women, one thing that they deeply, deeply want is that in an intimate experience, they want to feel and know that it's safe to express all of their emotions, that their man isn't going to run away, isn't going to fly away and leave because she expressed some emotion that may not be like your typical sexual experience that you're thinking of. For example, like if you cry during sex, or if you start laughing uncontrollably, or if you do some weird thing that, it's not portrayed in movies, and it's not what you see in porn, and it's not you having an orgasmic experience per se, even though a laughter orgasm is an orgasmic experience in and of itself. But say you're expressing your emotions and they aren't necessarily the typical expression of emotion in a sexual experience. You as a woman want to know that you can be held in that your partner isn't going to make fun of you or judge you. This is emotionally connecting on a limbic level. This is you knowing that you can show up, you can have emotions, express emotions, and that your partner can hold it without it triggering them, and also hold each other accountable to your emotional reactions and outbursts. Now, there's you being aware and wanting to feel safe to express your emotions, but there's also for your partner, and this is vice versa, for your partner to hold you accountable to not let you sink deep into those emotions or buy into the belief that you are that thing. Okay? There is a level of accountability that gets to be had within a relationship that we tend to not really like sometimes, because it's our partner calling us out on our shit. And that can feel like a blow to the ego. And yet that's the beauty of being in partnership, is that you have someone to call you out on your emotional shit when you're in it. And as women, that's a goddamn service to us, because we sure can let our emotions become the best of us, and we can start operating from our emotions instead of our deeper intuition and inner knowing. And when we're operating from that place, it's generally a mess and things become very chaotic. And to have a partner who can reel us back in and be like, I am not going to let you stay here in this shit. Like, we're getting out of this. I see you in this. I feel you in this. I accept you and I love you in this, but this is not you. And it's time to get back in touch with, what do you need to do to shift out of this, right? So connection in terms of limbic connection is being able to hold each other's emotions and hold each other accountable to not sinking in them or identifying as them or operating life and decision making from our strong emotions. The third level of connection that I see couples, at least one party in a couple usually, and sometimes both, that they really long to experience is somatic connection. I talked about this in the episode I recently published on somatic intelligence, what it is. So I'm not going to go too deep into what that concept means, because you can go back and listen to that whole episode. But to somatically connect with your partner is to feel that your bodies are actually in tune with each other, that your bodies are responding with each other, that you are co-regulating at a very primal nervous system level. And I find this is what couples really want to experience together, but they have no framework or tools and techniques or practices to get to this point of connection, because no one is teaching this, or at least no one is sharing that this is even a thing. But I'm telling you it is, and the Tantric and Taoist practices give us many different things that we can do to connect at a somatic level with another human being, with our beloved. So what does that look like to connect with someone on a somatic level? Well, it looks like eye gazing. It looks like building sensate focus together, becoming so in tune with your body that the resonant frequencies and energies of your body are literally co-regulating the nervous system of your partner. And this is a very deep, and it can be an extremely healing and beautiful way to connect with a human, because it's something that we naturally do with a mother or father or a mother-father figure when we're growing up, is that we co-regulate with our parents. We co-regulate with the people in our field that we are most around. And this wires our nervous system imprint from very early on. If you grew up in a very chaotic family and you're used to chaos and there's a lot of fighting going on, to be in partnership with your beloved and not experience those things can often feel unstabilizing. It feels weird to you. It feels like, I don't know what this is. And this is why people get so wrapped up in the whole twin flame bullshit and the soulmate junk. Like I've recorded episodes on these topics as well, but that is not connection. That is not connection. That's just you trauma bonding with your partner because that's what you know, and that's what feels safe to you because it is what you know. So when you're in a relationship with someone, or when you're dating someone, for example, and you're not quite sure about them, you like them, they're treating you well, but the attraction and the familiarity may not necessarily be there right off the bat. I always say that's a really good thing. That's actually really good to feel that you can enter into partnership, conscious partnership with someone in a very grounded way. This is the best way to enter conscious partnership, because when you're grounded and you're co-regulating each other and bringing yourself out of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn on a regular basis, you're not resisting coming into coherence. You're not resisting getting out of the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Some people will resist it. They actually want to be in fight. They want to be in a freeze. They want to fawn and people please all the time. That's what they know because that's what their parents taught them. And when they grew up with these responses and a nervous system set point that operates at this level, when they're in relationship with someone who might actually be really good for them as a relationship partner, it doesn't feel normal. It feels weird. And it feels weird because you've never felt that way before, because feeling grounded and co-regulated with someone at a healthy frequency is new to you. So when couples really desire to deepen connection and intimacy, this is the deepest layer and level of connection that you can have with a human, is to connect body to body, unconscious mind to unconscious mind, primal brain to primal brain. And it's a very beautiful, deep, and profound experience to be so connected with another human. And it's what we all crave. So my loves, if this is something that you're really wanting to learn for yourself, to learn the actual tools and practices to deepen your connection and intimacy on all three levels. Okay, we talked about communication yesterday in the Conscious Couples series. So how can we communicate? That is really about connecting via communication on that prefrontal cortex level, on the cortical thinking mind. And all of the communication practices that I teach my clients in the Epic Sex Blueprint are exactly meant to do that, to help you consciously communicate and connect on a cortical thinking level. But then what's beyond that is the connection on the limbic and the somatic level, that people yearn for connection at this level, but they don't know how to get it. And some of the practices from Gestalt therapy and Tantra that I have learned from several different teachers is part of the Epic Sex Blueprint group coaching program for couples that I'm teaching. So in this program that is just launching the week of July 17th, the last day to join is July 14th. In the program, all of my couples are going to be going through 10 sex date nights. They're audio and video guided sex date nights to teach you to have all different flavors of sexuality, to teach you to explore your fence of what feels safe, to get out of your comfort zone, to do something fun and new and exciting, to spice things up, to definitely get some new ideas about what's possible. In the sex date nights, you're exploring everything from tantric sex, sensational sex, where you're learning to give each other a pussy and penis massage. You're learning how to connect on a spiritual level and have spiritual sex or tantric sex, whatever word resonates for you. You're learning the fundamentals of kinky sex, how to set up a bondage scene, how to explore fantasies together and actually act them out. You're learning how to have wild primal sex, how to just go fucking wild and have a really great time. So all of these sex date nights are really designed to get you out of whatever boring routine that you've been in for a while and to teach you new skills and practices to try that you can, use as like, what's on the sex menu tonight? Oh, we have these things. So this sounds fun. Let's try this, right? So it's about getting you out of this everyday, boring, ho-hum, whatever. Nothing's extraordinary about our sex life anymore because we've been together 20 years to, holy shit, what was that? I feel like we were with the first year that we met, but even better because we didn't even know all of these things then, right? This is the intention of the Epic Sex Blueprint group coaching program for couples, is to cure bedroom boredom forever, to help you deepen your intimate connection in the ways that I have just described in this episode, and to resolve communication issues that you've been going around and around in circles with for years and have never figured out how to overcome or how to resolve the whatever the communication issue is. So my loves, if the Epic Sex Blueprint is something that you're like, oh my God, that sounds amazing, please totally teach me how to do that. The program is 12 weeks. It does include weekly group coaching calls with me. It will go for a little longer than 12 weeks. So we'll be starting the week of July 17th and going for a couple of months. We'll have a few breaks in between for holidays and anyone who has vacations. If you're it's built in so that you can keep up with the practices and the date nights, even if you have a vacation or whatever. So we've got a couple of break weeks, but regardless, we will have 12 calls together, and we will be meeting same day, same time each week. To really take you deep into your own hang-ups around your relationship. And yes, it's in a group setting. It's more affordable that way. And also you learn a lot from other couples, hearing what they struggle with and what they go through with. It's very powerful to do this sort of thing in a group setting. And I understand some people's hesitations and fears and concerns about that. And at the same time, I will tell you that it's a really beautiful way and very effective to do any healing and growing, personal growth and development in a group setting, because you get direct feedback from the group that, you know what, y'all are going through this and we see you and we love you and we support you fully and we are here to see you guys through this issue, right? So to have other people besides myself on your team, having a team of others rooting for the most amazing relationship for the two of you, it's incredible to have that sort of support and to feel that. When you've been going alone at this for years or even decades together, not having anyone to express what's really going on in your bedroom to anyone, holy shit, this is life-changing work, and I want to inspire you to get off the fucking fence and take action in the direction of your desires for the sex life and the relationship that you not only deserve, but that you are so worthy of. And this is the program that I can help you do that the most in and guarantee you results. I am a results-based coach. I don't want your money if you don't get the results. So I don't offer refunds, but I will continue to work with you for free until you get what you came here for when you work with me. So I want to encourage you guys to go check out the program details and information about the Epic Sex Blueprint group program for couples at the link in the show notes if this is something that you're serious about taking action on now and making an investment in. The early bird pricing closes on July 3rd. It is $1,000 less to get it now than it is on July 4th. So I want to encourage you to take action now. The longer you wait, the only thing that's going to happen is you're probably still going to want to do the program. You're still going to need to do the program, but the program is going to be more expensive. So get off the fence, take action now, do the smart thing. There's no need to spend an extra $1,000 when you don't need to, because you can just do it now. So I want to encourage you to go to the link in the show notes, check it out. You book a call with me. Both of you have to be on the call. I am only allowing 6 couples into this program max, and you guys have to be all on the same wavelength. I gotta screen people because not everyone is a good fit for this program. Not every couple is a good fit for this program. So you guys both need to be on the call, and I'll answer any of your questions about the program, really help you guys see what all it's going to be like. And yeah, I'll be there to support you in whatever way I can. All right. Thanks so much for joining me on the Conscious Couples series part 2. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the biggest issue that couples face when it comes to their sex life, and that is mismatched libido. So if that is something that you struggle with in your sex life and relationship, which almost all couples do, then I want you to make sure you tune into tomorrow's episode as well. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. All right, bye.